So first of all, I just want to clarify that if you hear the word bond or the word bail, they mean the same thing in the criminal context. So they can be used interchangeably, so I'm going to use them interchangeably. There are a bunch of different types of bonds, but I'm going to focus on the three that are the most common. The first one is a cash bond. So before you can understand the differences between the types of bonds, you need to understand just the basic premise behind bonds and why we have them. So let's say that I am arrested for driving while intoxicated, and I have a $1,000 bond. The bond is set because we want to make sure that I actually come to court. Some people might be inclined to, after they're arrested, to kind of try to hide out, but we don't want that to happen. So the purpose of bond or bail is to assure a person's presence in court later. So if I have a $1,000 bond, I can either put up the full $1,000 myself, and that's a cash bond. I pay the full amount, and it's held by the court until my case is done. It doesn't matter what the outcome is, but when my case is completed, if I've come to court on time every time I've been supposed to go to court, then that money is returned to me. The full amount is returned. But it can be a problem to, get that much money together on a $1,000 bond, but especially on much higher bonds, like a $100,000 bond. So to address that hardship, we have a thing called surety bonds. What those are is you go through a bondsman, a bail bond company, again, different ways of referring to the same thing, and you make an agreement with them. Typically, it's going to be 10%. So on my $1,000 bond, I'd pay them 10% or $100. And then they're the surety. And then they basically put up the rest of the money. And assuming I go to court like I'm supposed to do and I'm not late, then the money is returned to them. But I guess as a fee for that service, I don't get my 10% back. And that's going to be the most common bond that people use. There's another kind of bond. It's a personal recognizance bond. We call it a PR bond for short because personal recognizance bond is kind of a mouthful. It's also called a signature bond or release because of delay. And what that is if the DA's office has not filed in your case or indicted you within a certain time period, then you get out basically for free. You just sign your name and you're released. For a Class B misdemeanor, that time period is 15 days. For a Class A misdemeanor, that time period is 30 days. And for a felony offense, that time period is 90 days. I hope that helped you understand the three most common types of bonds that we see. If you have any questions about that, give us a call and we'd be happy to help.